Hi there, it's the great and glorious seem to be famous one, Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time, going back to classic and beautiful low resolution. I got this like perfect storm of intermittent broadband coupled with the fact that YouTube upload is giving me lots of glitches. So what I'm doing is I'm hoping that if I lower the frequency, if I lower the resolution a hell of a lot more, then I'll be able to get a very quick upload. It'll be processed in no time, and everything is going to be absolutely perfect. Because basically, I spent the last 4 hours trying to get one pretty damn good video like uploaded, and basically broadband sort of kicked out, computer kicked out, YouTube kicked out, and basically everything was like, ugh! So, do forgive me for returning into low resolution. So, what am I talking about today? Well, I was inspired, I would say, by a video created by the fantastic and wonderful YouTube user Venus Satanas. Now, being on YouTube is great because you can get access to a wide variety of different perspectives and different points of view. You don't have to agree with them all, and I think that's also pretty positive and pretty important. You just got to remember that you don't have to agree to them all. And you can just have a look, see what other people say, sort of get some inspiration and see if there's something good there. Because Venus Satanas did this wonderful video about what she's called effigy magic. She's doing this kind of like ritual stroke spell stroke whatever for the purposes of creating change in her behavior, as well as change associated with what appears to be something like a relationship connection that maybe she's had some issues with. And she describes it in quite an interesting and poetic way. She's creating a little puppet, a little mannequin made out of cloth, which she's stuffing with certain specific herbs, and then she's going to burn it on a barbecue and take the ashes and sprinkle that on the water, and then just sort of like let it flow away. Now, this is obviously very similar to prayer, basically, which is when you have a form of conversation going on within your soul, and you use it to deal with an issue. But of course, she's doing it through physical representations and all the rest of that. And I suppose there is a merit to all this choosing the right herbs, or what appears to be the right herbs and the right colors and all the rest of that. But is that actually essential? Is it? No, I don't think so. I mean, I've got a lot of customers who are Christians. That's right, Christians, to the most part, will call a tarot reader. There's only about maybe less than 1% of my customers who are Wiccans or pagans or chaos magicians or from any other spiritual denomination. Most of them are actually Christians, and they still ask for spells. And I feel difficult about that because it's not necessarily something I always want to sell. Okay, so I often recommend they do a prayer, which is literally to get on their knees, talk to their higher power, and if they don't have a higher power, to make one up and ask this higher power to remove from them the issue which is holding them back. And some people come back to me and they report that they've had some kind of internal change. And I think there's a big difference between asking your higher power to give you something and asking your higher power to take something away from you. And when your higher power takes something away from you, it seems to be a little more powerful. There's a little more, hard and fast, concrete results of some description which is actually happening there. I mean, if you ask your higher power to give you a job and so you don't get the job, what kind of an emotional state are you going to be in afterwards? The bottom line, not a very good one. If you ask your higher power to take away from you the stress associated with the job interview that you're going to, and then you're more relaxed in the job interview and that makes you more likely to get the results, then, that's a good thing, surely. Anyway, that's basically the way that I see it. I mean, maybe there's some merit to a longer exercise. It takes time to make the physical representations and choose herbs which you believe are right, colors of cloth which you believe are right, and so on and so forth. But essentially, is that the be-all and end-all of the whole thing? Well, I don't think so. I just think we just don't have to be too dogmatic. And I think that a lot of people in the New Age world want to be dogmatic, partially out of envy of the Abrahamic faiths, because they have dogma and pagans typically don't have all that much, apart from those who've created some. So, WTF, what the heck, relax, chill out, do it, but don't get too stressed over the whole thing. Surely all of this, if it's a spiritual exercise, should be there to help you just to chill out and contemplate life, as well as to remove strains from inside yourself. Just a few thoughts.